Asia-Pacific stocks are falling after a red session in U.S. stock markets, with shares of electric vehicles plunging. At the same time, a strong earthquake hit Taiwan on Wednesday, the strongest tremor to hit the island in at least 25 years. Shares of the Taiwan Stock Exchange are now down more than 1%. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation evacuated production lines after the earthquake, but a company spokesperson said safety systems were operating normally. Now, shares of TSMC fell 1.5% in early trading. China's service sector activity expanded at its fastest pace since December. That's according to surveys from Caixin. The Services Purchasing Managers Index in China rose to 52.7 in March. That despite that, the Shanghai Composite is also in the red this morning. Now let's bring in Nadia El-Bilassi, market analyst at Equity Group, and she joins us now live from Dubai. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. So, chips, how important is TSMC for the whole industry?
Definitely the largest semi-chip conductor manufacturing company in the world, not just in Asian markets. So that's why when the earthquake has hit, it obviously affected sentiment in Asian markets, and also tracking Wall Street lows from last night. So we have two factors that are denting sentiment right now, with obviously the earthquake being the largest, and that's why we saw a dip in these shares, and likely to continue just as long as we see how big the situation is right now.
Right, a question on the broader sector of chips around the world. And when we take into account the competition that's existing now between the US, but also China, South Korea, now Japan has started investing into the sector, and Taiwan. Who do you think has a competitive advantage right now?
I think Taiwan, being a global leader in the chips semiconductor sector, definitely going to remain a global leader because of the government policies that they have set in stone, also because of the industrialization that they also have. So I think for now, it's going to be, the leader amongst all, but obviously we can see some competition from other Asian markets.
Right, interesting. A conflict between China and Taiwan. How disruptive would it be for markets? And do you think, to an extent, investors are pricing this in already?
Yes, I think this has been going on for a while, but because of China's housing market crisis, property sector slump, we're seeing a lot of outflows go out from China, and that's why Taiwan is kind of emerging and as a new leader right now, especially that it has a competitive advantage when it comes to chips. I think the competition is due there to stay, but with China slowly recovering, we've hit some economic indicators over the past 2 days that show a slight recovery, but I still think that it's going to take more time to recover from post-pandemic 2-year lockdowns till now, and especially after what happened with Evergrande.
So we are now seeing the tech sector soaring in the US and across the world. What can be said about the chip sector? And what about the near future for both sectors? What's your opinion?
Definitely, I think artificial intelligence is really taking key lead here. That's why NVIDIA, for example, has already surged 200%. We've seen a lot of artificial intelligence based companies. They're really hitting record highs, and they're driving the tech sector forward. I think the only thing that might turn things sour here is perhaps just pricing in pushing back rate cuts from June to July or September. However, from an earnings perspective and from importance of the chip sector right now and the AI saga, and the major indices as well, it's taking a really full impact, and I think it's bound to continue bullish. We might see a 5 to 10% pullback for the Nasdaq, also for the other major indices. That's also getting priced in by the markets, but I think the tech sector is still going to grow, especially as we are being led by AI.
Nadia El-Bilassi, thank you very much for your analysis.
Thank you.
And now let's take a quick look at some of the top stories from around the world. Gold prices hit another historic peak on Tuesday as traders snapped up the safe commodity amid rising tensions in the Middle East. Spot gold was up 0.8% per ounce after hitting an all-time high of $2,276. Analysts also say gold prices are rising as traders anticipate interest rate cuts by the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, and the US Federal Reserve in June as inflation is slowing. Tesla reports a sharp decline in car deliveries in the first quarter due to market challenges and reputation hazards. Shares of the Elon Musk-led company were down 5.2% at $166.08 on Tuesday afternoon, losing about $30 billion in market value. The shares have fallen about 33% so far this year. The last time the automaker posted a sales fall was in the second quarter of 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic forced Tesla to shut down production. Zimbabwe's currency has plunged to another record low just days after the early assumption of office by a new central bank governor. Citizens rushed to buy US dollars amid speculation. An announcement from the central bank on the fate of the currency is imminent. The Zimbabwe dollar has lost 73% of its value since January, making it the world's second worst performing currency after the Lebanese pound. And Taylor Swift is now officially a billionaire. The superstar was included on Forbes' World's Billionaires list published this week, and Swift amassed an estimated $1.1 billion fortune this year. The revenue is based on earnings from her record-breaking Eras tour and the value of her music catalogue, as well as a real estate portfolio. The world now has 2,781 people with fortunes exceeding $1 billion. That's an increase of 141 people since last year.